We are so excited to be here today. We are going to be breaking down all of the amazing draft stuff that happened today. Cannot wait to break it down with all of you live. There were 6 more rounds, and we've got multiple incredible guests who were draft picks in the 2026 draft who will be joining us very shortly. So let us know in the comments what you're most excited for. I'm so pumped for today.
Yeah, I'm super pumped too. Checking my phone throughout the day, trying to figure out who's going where. We had some surprises today as well. We're gonna break all of that down, but yeah, super excited to talk to you all today and to go over this draft, which has really just been an incredible weekend. Honestly, I mean, I guess we're going into the weekend, so incredible week because we haven't experienced anything like this before, and the talent level in Banana Ball has gone through the roof. And we just can't wait to talk about it and talk about the teams and where we ended up. So yeah, let's get into it.
Awesome. Well, let's jump straight into looking at the roster. So I was able to input into here the round 6. So there were 11 rounds. We're going to break down right now round 6. We'll go through and we're going to add round by round everybody in here until we have the full roster. And then as we go, we've got Drake Fontenot coming on. We got Niko Hulsizer coming on, and maybe another guest a little bit later we're hoping for. So be sure to let us know in the comments any questions you have with that. But let's jump
And
into.
let's give Brandon a round of applause for his spreadsheets. Yay!
Well, thank you.
Here we go. We got the roster. So
Awesome. So yeah, round number 6 on the Coconuts, they got Daniel Foster, a pitcher, and they got Eli Patton for an infielder. And again, if we say any of these names wrong, please correct us in the chat, any of that. But again, I saw some stuff before we started. We're also going to go over the list of legacy players who didn't make the cut, what could be happening there, entertainment players, what's the next with all of that. So a lot of stuff coming down the pipe. But with the Coconuts for round 6, they got Zach Smith as a pitcher. And then this was a big one.
huge.
Sal Jacobo from the Party Animals is now on the Coconuts.
I'm really excited for him. When Acuff went down, Jacobo took his spot and was amazing for the Party Animals. He was a star, and he really broke out. And to have him go to the Coconuts and no longer be a backup, it's gonna be great for him. I really am excited to see what he can do as a starter for the Coconuts now. And yeah, really looking forward to that.
Yeah, and again, on that note, Sal Jacobo hopefully will be a starter for the Coconuts in the infield. And on the same vein, Armando Becerra, who was taken by the Firefighters last night, will hopefully be on that side as well. Okay, I thought we might have had someone pop in. We might have someone joining in just a second.
Yeah.
But yeah, so those were the picks for the Coconuts and for the Clowns. And then I will pull up the spreadsheet here again in a second for the Texas Tailgaters. This was an interesting one. Brett Allen, you may know him as the visitor who has he's from Australia and he has the crocodile on his head. He's now going to be on the Texas Tailgaters. So super happy for that guy. I think he mentioned that his family or his mom is from Texas or something. There's some connection there. So super excited for him and the fact that he's coming back.
Yeah, really excited. I got so excited every time a visitor was drafted because that team was so entertaining. They really shined this year. Really getting into what Banana Ball is really all about, and really they became their own like team identity. And a lot of those guys are going to the Coconuts, which is really exciting. But yeah, every time a visitor got drafted, I was really happy about that.
Yeah, I got to address a comment right here. Sebastian, you guys forgot to add Dalton Malden in the Coconuts. So we are going through round by round. Yes, I'm so pumped for Dalton Malden. We're going to talk about that as it comes, but we're going to go round by round, so that's why he's not showing currently, but we'll get him added soon.
Yeah, we're watching the magic of Brandon filling out a spreadsheet right now. It's really incredible content. We love it. So,
And then Frankie, I'm not even going to attempt that. Frankie M is what I'm going to call him. Sammy, you got that last name?
I
Okay.
don't want to embarrass myself.
Okay, Frankie M is a pitcher for the Bananas. Super excited for him. Masiatello, something like that.
That was great.
Thank you. And yeah, again, all of these guys that we are new to Banana Ball, we don't have any background on them, so we don't have a lot of commentary. So we're going to be mostly focusing on the legacy players just because that's our knowledge base. But again, once these guys come next year, it sounds like there's going to be a lot of really good stuff coming this year.
And we're really looking forward to having some of these guys on the podcast here going forward. I think there's a lot of new people on the live stream right now, which is awesome. For those of you that don't know, we're the Banana Breakdown Podcast. We do a weekly live stream on YouTube where we break down everything Banana Ball. We've done a lot of interviews already, so you want to look back at, check those interviews out. But we're going to do a lot more this off season. And so now with the draft, we're going to try to get as many of these guys that were drafted onto the show to introduce you all to them and to hear their story of coming onto Banana Ball. So you don't want to miss that, so make sure to subscribe and all that stuff. All right. After that shameless plug, here we go. Let's keep going.
There's a lot of great comments in there. I'm super excited to go over some of them. But Zach Phillips is the 6th round pick for the Firefighters. And I think that we got a comment here from Pat's fan here. Val Perez, the coach for the Firefighters, was snatching a lot of bananas. Yes, it was absolutely crazy, super impressive, and I think it's what the Firefighters need. Having some of these legacy players, like the fact that Zach Phillips went in the 6th round is crazy. He should have gotten snatched up much earlier than that, but glad that he is going to be a leader there in the Firefighters franchise.
Seriously, it was kind of crazy how it just kept on going with the Firefighters picking bananas. We were joking about it yesterday during the draft when we had our live stream. Like, wow, it seems like, the Firefighters upset the Bananas, and now they're just bringing the Bananas players on. So it's just kind of funny.
I did have a thought there today. I was thinking about the fact of why did they take so many bananas? But then when I looked at it, if you look at the schedule last year, do you remember? The Bananas and the Firefighters played against each other all the time.
They were scouting them the whole time.
Yeah. So who was pitching against the Firefighters and struck them out and all that? Zach Phillips. Jared Donaldson, who was hitting home runs off of them, Eric Jones Jr. Like those were the guys that the firefighter crew, Val Perez, knew the most because they were the ones beating up on the Firefighters this year.
Yeah, that's a really great point. I think that has a lot to do with it. Great point. Brandon always has great points. You'll come to learn that.
And then outfielder TJ Reeves for the Party Animals in the 6th round. So this was one that I was not too aware of, and this was one of the very few that was a non-Party Animal that Coach Vava picked, which he did have a couple free picks, let's call them, because the Firefighters took Armando Becerra and the Coconuts took Sal Jacobo.
Yeah.
But from that, pretty much, we'll talk about it later, but the rest of them were all Party Animals, which, Sammy, any thoughts on that right now?
Well, correct me if I'm wrong here. I could be wrong. Every Party Animal player was drafted, right?
Yes, there was not a single Party Animal player that was not drafted outside of the entertainment players that are this weird gray area.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll show up. But yeah, every Party Animal player was drafted. Most of them drafted by the Party Animals, which is just awesome. I love that Coach Vava was just like, I'm just bringing my whole team back. I love that. Anyway.
Yeah, and then there's also one for the Party Animals that I didn't recognize. Apparently he played for the Party Animals before and then left, and Coach Vava drafted him back. He was in the player pool.
That's right, yeah.
So we'll talk about that in a second. But, we'll have Drake coming on in just a little bit, and we will start breaking down round number 7 right now. And then whenever he joins, we will ask him a couple questions, get his feelings on the draft, and then we will go back to breaking this down in between the different guests that we have. So really excited to see this. Let's see. So Pat's fan says that Dylan Porter is a pitcher. So he's a closer. So that's pretty good. Good news there. Thank you for letting us know that. It's always good to have you guys help fill in the gaps of our Banana Ball knowledge. Sammy, do you want to bring up round 7 draft picks?
Yes, that is my job. So here we go.
Okay, so Sammy's got the round 7 draft picks on the Instagram post there, and we will go through and see where they fit into here. So with the Clowns, we've got
Diane Reynoso. I'm totally butchered that name, and I'm very sorry. Right-handed pitcher. So new to Banana Ball. Excited to see what he can do.
Awesome. What was their other pick this round? Oh, it's Gage Voorhees.
Yep,
The
that's right.
reshare on Instagram like blocks important information
Yeah,
there.
yeah, that's a little frustrating. But yeah, Gage Voorhees,
That's
great pitcher for the Bananas, is now going to go into the Clowns. So that's exciting for him. He had some really great plays this season, and excited to see what he can do for
yeah.
the Clowns.
I feel like Flash was in there and he was trying to figure out like, hey, like how do we get more of the Bananas guys there? But here we go.
What's up, guys? What's up, guys?
How are you?
Doing well. How are
Doing
you?
well. We're doing good. Like, what's going through your
Good.
head right now? I mean, picked in the first round of the draft, going to the Coconuts.
I can't wait to be back with Croc. That was the first thing I thought was like I'm gonna be back with Croco. I spent with him and the visitors, and he's just a great guy, great coach to be with. But I mean, it was shocking. I haven't sent in a video or posted. I had a a little camera just in case for whatever happened. I had a camera set up. I had a couple people at the house, hang out a little bit. But like when I posted it, you're gonna be able to see like the pure shock in everybody's face. Like I did not think I was gonna go right there. It was awesome though.
Dude, that's incredible. Congratulations again.
Thank you
Yes.
very much.
Second overall, that's a great draft position there. So I am a little surprised that you had no idea that you were gonna go. I would think that Croco would have like talked to you beforehand, but it was a total surprise.
Total surprise. He called me a couple of weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, kind of get an idea. Where's your head at? Like, how you feeling? Are you still feeling all right? Whatever. Just one of those like coach to player checkups. Make sure you're okay. And he said, I may call you in a couple of weeks going into the draft and make sure you're still doing all right, just in a mental headspace. And then he never called. But like, I don't forget when somebody tells me they're gonna call. So when he didn't call, I was like, something's not right.
Yeah.
Something's not right. But no, it was really cool though how he like went about it. I guess because I guess that was his plan.
That's awesome. I guess so you playing on the visitors, like how was that experience for you and what does that make you excited for coming into Banana Ball full time next year?
So playing with the visitors gave me a little bit of an idea of like what to expect because I've been there. We played in Louisville, we played in Savannah. I got to see it firsthand because I've never been to a game, so I got to see it firsthand to be a part of it to know like this is what I'm going into, and it just raises the excitement. Like I cannot wait to be back and just meeting all those people. Like when we were in Louisville, met all these people. It was unbelievable. Like there's nothing you can do to explain like how it felt.
That's so awesome.
That's awesome. We're super excited for you. So, going into the future here, going into this season, I don't know if you've looked at the schedule much yet. Now knowing that you're a Coconut, but is there anywhere that you are, or any game that you have circled that you're the most excited about?
Um, obviously, I think Gillette Stadium is going to be pretty cool. Petco Park's going to be cool, but for me, I think the one that's going to be pretty special. I played in high school. I played with a kid. I guess he's not a kid now. He's in a Brewers organization in Double A. But he played at Coastal Carolina. His name's Eric Brown Jr. But he played at Coastal Carolina, so I guess it'd be kind of cool to go play where he played because we play there in I think March, second or third week of March. So it's gonna be kind of cool to go see where he was at for 4 years of college and all that.
Oh, that's so sick. So along that vein, with all the cool places you guys are gonna go, you're on a brand new team, the Coconuts. Like, what are your thoughts with that? Of like, you get to be a huge part of creating the identity of the team that people are gonna hold on to for generations.
That's back to it. It's a blessing to be a part of something so special. Like there's other teams like they have the identity of who they are. Like as a team already set in stone. The four original teams like that's who they are. The tailgaters they're gonna line dance. Um, but to be a part of something that's brand new, you kind of get to be way more creative, and like we get to sculpt what we want to create. And I've talked to JD a little bit and Ashby quite a bit. We've all talked about like how cool it's going to be. Like we're going to walk on the field, we're going to wear floaties. like, like it's just going to be like such a chill kind of vibe, that kind of thing. Like it's going to be really cool to be able to create like the actual identity of a team, like to be a part of something like that with these guys.
Love that.
That's awesome. So what we noticed was, with the during the draft, a lot of visitors players ended up on the Coconuts. What are some of your thoughts being reunited with some of your visitors teammates?
No, I can't wait. I loved every single one of those moments that I spent with those guys this summer, and I can't wait to be back with them in January. And even for the guys that got put on other teams, like I know we all still have that bond. It's always we're together for that first little bit of our experience in Savannah. It's like we're all gonna have that special bond together. Like I can't wait. I can't wait to be back with them, like Peyton and Jordan too, and Grady.
Yeah, there's so many, and that's so cool that also it's Coach Croc. Like, what is one of the things that you've learned most from Coach Croc, or take it however you want, but like talk about Coach Croc and how excited you are to be back with him.
Coach Krog was such a like he's a huge family guy, so like he was always talking about like you're my guys, so like it was always a family aspect, and then it was always we're a family. We want to be able to welcome anyone and everyone into our family. So like when we went into the visitors and we went to I guess the very first time we ever like did anything in the stadium was Party Animals and the Bananas were playing, and right before we went to Louisville, they were playing in Grayson, and he wanted to get our little feet wet, let us experience it before we got to Louisville, and it was like a super shock. So it was just like welcome anybody, greet everybody. It was just one of those like bring anybody in that wants to be a part of us, and like that's just what we went into wholeheartedly. We're like, and we all embraced it. Like it was so much fun. I don't know if you've seen videos. It was us at the very entrance of the stadium in a big line, and everybody's running through our line. We had this tunnel, and we were all running through this line, just high-fiving kids, high-fiving parents, just bringing the energy from day one. From the very start of the game, they're walking into this, and like energy starts right there. So it was like I love Coach Croc.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that energy was really obvious and infectious with that. It was cool to see the visitors like really have a team identity this season, even though there were only a few games. So let's take it back. How were you introduced to Banana Ball? What were some of your thoughts? With trying out, being on the visitors. Like how did your journey take you here to Banana Ball?
Uh, to be honest, I didn't do a tryout like a lot of guys do those tryouts in a stadium like in Nashville or whatever. I didn't do one of those. Barry found me because I was the pitcher of the year for my conference last year in the GSC in the Gulf South. I was the pitcher of the year for that. I had a really good season, and I guess my name popped up on his phone enough, and he was like, "All right, let's look into this kid." So he did, and I guess he followed the rest of the season, and then towards the end of the season or after the season, I can't remember when he was. He just gave me a little text and said, if you're interested in this, I'd love to tell you all about it. Well, I love baseball, and I don't want to give it up yet. So we talked on the phone for 30, 45 minutes. I heard everything there was. And I got off the phone and called my mom. I said, "Mama, I want to do this."
That's
I
awesome.
said, "So."
Can you take us like that conversation into the phone call? Like, what were some of the things that he said that made you so excited about Banana Ball?
Being able to impact people in a way of there's so many times that like kids will play a sport and it's a game of failure. So you go into the sport and you fail and then you just kind of give up. But it was like you can put into these kids, like you can like talk to these guys, talk to people from like every background and go, there's always something to look forward to. And I don't know, it's just like the happy, like to make sure like kids are playing in a happy sense all the time. And like that's what you need to embrace the most when you're playing is to be happy about where you're at, because it's a game of failure. And if you get too locked in on the oh I'm failing part, you're gonna fall out of love with such an amazing game.
Wow, I love that.
Yeah, that's what I've loved about Banana Ball. It seems like, because of how fans first it is, obviously, how much fun you guys are having out there. You guys just seem to play better because of that, and
Hmm.
you know, and everyone wants to see good play, so that just makes it even better. So that's really excited. Well, we're super excited for you. congrats again
Thank you.
on joining the Coconuts.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Also, to touch back on that with that conversation with Barry, I wanted to say he also brought up, you'll go to these games. I'm just going to use, I don't know how he is as a person, Aaron Judge. You go to these games and the kid's super excited to meet Aaron Judge, and he kind of just brushes you off. But we don't brush anybody off, and like we stop, we talk, we engage, and like that is special. It's amazing, like how it is, and like I really like love that part of everything was you're gonna be able to like talk to these your the fans that are there to watch the game and watch the entertainment, all that stuff behind it. Like that kind of sold me a little bit too.
That's awesome. Well, yeah, so we'd love to continue to talk in future conversations, hopefully have you on for a longer interview at some point. But do you have any like parting thoughts for the fans right now as we go into the off season before next year?
You said what? You kind of cut out a little bit.
Sorry, like any like parting thoughts or anything else that's on your mind that you want the fans to hear?
Uh, Not that I can think of like right off the bat. Go Coconuts, I guess.
Yeah, go
Go
Coconuts.
Coconuts. Awesome. Well, we appreciate you coming on, and again, congratulations. Looking forward to the Coconuts.
Thank you very much.
Good luck with everything.
Thank y'all.
Thanks.
Awesome.
Congrats.
Appreciate
again.
it. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you. I'll take it easy.
You too. Awesome. Well, that was amazing having Drake on. We've got one and possibly another guest as well coming on a little bit later. We'll be breaking down the other rounds, jump into round 7 here in a second, but that was awesome. Drake is incredible. That was cool to meet him.
Yeah, let's see. We got some comments in here talking about kind of like that last point that Drake mentioned, which is just a great point. I've been to 75 to 100 MLB games. That's a lot. That's impressive. And I've never felt so close to the players as I have at Banana Ball games. Yeah, I totally agree with that. I remember, I think it was our conversation with Dustin Baber where he was, we talked to a lot of these guys about these fans' first moments that they have, and I think it was him, so I hope maybe I'm just attributing it to him and it wasn't him, but someone said that they had this experience, this fans' first experience, where they hit terribly that game. They didn't get a hit, 0 for 3, 0 for 4, whatever it was, and this kid comes up and is just so excited to see him and just was like, "You played amazing today," and then got a picture with the kid and everything, and he obviously took the time to interact with the fan and made that kid's day, right? And I just love that because even if you have a bad game in Banana Ball, these guys are still they're thinking about how to make the fans have a great experience. And so if that was an MLB player, they probably are not wanting to interact with anyone at all if they had a terrible game. But that's not the way it is in Banana Ball. So I loved that. And I think, I've seen some things from some guys that have been drafted recently, the past day or so. And that's kind of what is being, what's drawing them to Banana Ball is the impact that they can have on people in a way that they can't really do in other levels of baseball.
Yeah, for sure, and that's something that I love to see. I love to see when the players really do want to make an impact, like you said, and talking to Drake there, that was super cool. That was one of the things that drew him to it.
I got to throw up a tweet really quick.
Okay, Sammy with his tweets. Let's see.
It's not my tweets. It's a tweet that I saw.
Okay.
Oh jeez.
So while Sammy is bringing that up,
podcasting right here, trying to throw this out.
So I got this right here while you're looking that up. Biff says, chatting with the Bananas after their loss in the playoffs was amazing. Seeing their disappointment, but they were still there. Yeah, it's awesome to see that, and we saw the same thing after the Firefighters lost the Tour Championship game. They were out there signing autographs. They were out there with the fans, and it's one of those things where it's so cool that they don't have to tie their identity fully to winning. It's becoming a competitive sport. That adds so much fun for fans, so much fun for players. But then for the players to be able to disconnect that, to say, on the field, I'm going to try my hardest, we're going to win, and we're going to celebrate if we win. And then if I lose, that's not the most important thing. The most important thing is the fans. Just so cool to see.
Yeah. So here I found it. Tanner Allen, who was drafted by the Coconuts last night. He reposted the banana ball tweet about him, and then he said, "In a world full of chaos and evil, I get to put a smile on somebody's face and be a way to escape life's harshest realities. Yep, I'm going to do it." I just loved that. That was a really cool outlook on, for people have hard lives. Like everyone's just going through stuff, and so for these guys, they have the opportunity to put a smile on people's faces when they come to the game, and it's more than just baseball. It's banana ball, and they're gonna make people's days and make memories with have families make memories together. It's just great stuff. I love it.
Yeah, it's incredible. Okay, so there again with the chat, guys. Thank you so much. There's a lot coming in. We'll pull up questions and things as we can as we go through. Appreciate you guys pulling them in there. And again, if anyone is new here, we do this weekly. We are so grateful for all the support that we've seen, and we're going to keep on making content. We've already got a potential guest from the draft lined up for next week. We're going to be doing a lot of these going forward. And again, we've got Niko joining very shortly here in this live stream. So up until he joins, do we go into round 7?
Yeah, that's what we were doing before, right? All right, round 7.
So we were in the middle of round
I
7.
think, we're going on it.
So we
into
just
the
finished.
Coconuts, right?
We just got, both of the Clowns. So now we're into Coconuts. Round 7 Coconuts, who we got?
C.J. Williams, right-handed pitcher.
Awesome. So he was on the visitors. He was one that had been projected to potentially go a little higher too. So that's cool to see the Coconuts got him.
And then Dane Toefland, infielder.
These are some hard names.
Yeah, this is gonna be hard.
Toefland. Okay. And then he's infield. Okay, so then that shows the Coconuts have a pretty solid infield at this point. So looking for in the last couple picks, they got to round out with some pitchers and outfielders. But yeah, we'll keep going through these soon and see what we've got here. So who did the Tailgaters take?
All right, the Tailgaters took Tyler Riggett.
Oh, Big Rig.
Big Rig.
From the Firefighters.
Yep, going. He's now a Tailgater.
I will say I am very impressed with the Tailgaters picks on pitchers, and I'm really, really hopeful that they can lock in that pitching staff. That'll be super exciting to watch.
Yeah, that's something we talked about a lot yesterday during the draft. Just like the Tailgaters really needed to get some pitchers, get some. Sorry, there's so many people in the chat. I'm not used to this, so I'm getting distracted. Thank you so much, everyone. Yeah, they just needed to round out their pitching group, and they did it, I think. So.
Yeah. Okay, who did the Bananas get?
Okay, the Bananas got catcher Easton Parrish.
Awesome. So that is their backup catcher. They have Bill Leroy as their first catcher. Easton, it seemed like he was talked highly of in the live stream last night, but I don't have any other information on him at this time, but super excited to see what he's got. Oh, this is a good one.
Yeah, all right, here we go. The Firefighters got Dakota McFadden, right-handed pitcher. That's awesome.
It's a good pick. I was actually really interested about this one because he was also kind of their coach last year. So I thought that he was either going to be one of the coach franchise or that he was even going to be completely off the list and stay with the Firefighters as a coach/player, kind of like Coach Vava for the Party Animals does. But yeah,
they got him. No, one way or the other, he's back with the Firefighters. So super excited for that.
Really quickly, I have seen a couple comments on this. Dalton Malden is not going to be on the show today. We did meet him a couple months ago at the Anaheim game, and hopefully we can have him on the show here in the future. But right now he will not be on today. But yes, we'll reach out to him again and let him know that you guys are super excited to hear more for him and are excited that he's on the Coconuts.
Yeah, I was. We're going to get into that, but I was surprised that he was, leaving the Bananas. It was kind of one of those interesting situations where he was an entertainment player, but he also chose to put himself into the draft pool. And so, to me, what that says is that he had the option to just stay with the Bananas if he wanted to, but he obviously didn't. Like, he wanted to, see what his chances were in the draft, and now he's going to be a Coconut. So kind of an interesting situation there.
Yeah, so we'll break that down a little more as we go. But who did the party animals select?
Party animals are bringing Fluke back.
There we go.
I was calling for that for a while yesterday. So really excited for that.
Man, this is just so fun. Just the fact that the party animals are just the exact same team, and then all these other teams are different. And that was one of the things I did see. I didn't watch the full thing yet, but just quickly going through on Instagram with all the craziness today, I quickly saw part of a reel from Bryson Bloomer, and he was basically saying that 2026 is going to be interesting because now all the teams are on a level playing field. And I just thought that's just such an amazing comment when the party animals didn't change almost at all, and then now they're like, these guys got all these new good players, and now we're on the same level playing field.
It's such a power move, right? Like,
yeah.
And I honestly, looking at the rosters, call me crazy or call me biased or whatever, I think the party animals are still the favorite. Like, they were that good, right? And so we'll see, but yeah, really excited about that.
Yeah. So then it'll be interesting to see. I'm so excited for the party animals to have the same team and see if they can just crush everybody. That would be hilarious to watch.
Yeah.
Okay. Should we go into round 8?
Yes. Let's go into round 8.
Okay. Yeah. So guys, we did get a comment here. We are on round 8. So we have the spreadsheet here. We'll pull it up, which has all of the other rounds here. We're going over the Clowns picks right now.
Just want to give a shout out to Biff. Thank you so much for your super chat. That was
thank you.
That was, really appreciate that. He says, seeing fans like you two making this podcast a success, chef's kiss. Thank you. I really appreciate that. It means a lot. All right.
And here we go.
Welcome, Niko. Thank you for joining.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good. Congrats on being drafted and going to the Clowns. What are your thoughts right now? Joining a brand new team in Banana Ball.
Yeah, this whole process was really cool. Just how it all came to be. I was working this summer I was working this summer and doing landscaping with one of my buddies. Shout out Lil Pecker's Landscaping. And I found out about the tryouts and stuff, and I was like, you know what? I think that's perfect for me. And the more I talked to guys that were involved and whatnot, seemed to be really fitting. Barry, Jesse, everyone's been super fantastic. And then this whole draft process has just been a whirlwind. Like, I talked to a bunch of the teams and a bunch of the coaches and didn't know where it was going to go or who I was going to end up with. I didn't even get a call before I got selected. It just popped up on the screen, and I was just as shocked as everyone else. So it was a really, really cool experience.
Oh, that's so sweet.
To be with the Clowns, like, I think it's going to be really cool to be with a new team, especially a team that has some history, with the Negro League and stuff. I think that's really cool, bringing back the history. And I really like the team that we're putting together. I'm excited to work with Fox and being an outfield with JBJ. I've played against him, but never played with him, so.
Oh, that's cool.
that is amazing. Yeah, I was gonna ask you that. What were your thoughts when his name was announced as the first overall pick? I think that shocked everyone.
Yeah, I mean, you never know what to expect in this organization, and I think that's a really good thing that they always are throwing wrenches in everything, because keep it fun, keep it exciting, keep people on their toes. Like, I was not expecting any of that. And then once it happened, I was like, well, who else are they going to throw out there? Like, are we going to see Jonathan Papelbon or something? Like, what's about to happen? And then once I got picked by the Clowns and I knew that he was already on the team, I was like, this is going to be cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So you said you played against him. What's kind of the story there?
Yeah, so I played against him in the Atlantic League last summer when he was with Long Island for a little bit, and he absolutely balled while he was there. He played really well. Ended up getting, back into affiliate and whatnot. But yeah, he robbed me of some hits. That's for sure. I remember that. I hit a ball dead center, and I was like, oh, that's definitely getting down. He jumps up on the wall, signature JBJ catch, and I'm like, You kidding me, brother? And then, yeah, so it was cool playing against him, getting to watch his professionalism. And, I got to chat with him a little bit, and he was super down to earth, super good guy. So I think he's a perfect fit for this as well.
That is so exciting.
Yeah.
What are you most excited for with Banana Ball? Like with the rules, with the fans? Like what's kind of making you excited right now, knowing that you're going to be on the team next year?
What makes me most excited is just that it's centered around fun and engagement and fans and the whole experience. All of baseball that I've played up until this point has been pretty results based, and of course this is as well. But it was more emphasis on results and not really emphasis on fun. Where they try to even that out with this, and I'm really excited for that. There's a lot more smiling going on in this form of baseball, and I think that's a good thing. I think it brings out the best in people when they can be loose and have fun. So I'm really excited for that, to just see where that takes us.
It's incredible.
For sure, yeah, that's what we love about Banana Ball as well. Is just I said this earlier, but on the show here tonight. But just it seems like because you guys are having fun out there, you guys simply just play better, and so the product is better, and it's just awesome for everyone. So I don't know if you've really looked at the schedule yet or whatnot, but if you have, is
Yep.
there a game that you have circled like that you are most excited about this season?
Yeah. Um, yeah, I looked at the schedule and I'm pretty excited about it. Looks like we're going to be all over the place, which is really cool. It's not like we're really centered in one spot.
Yeah,
We're playing in a couple of big league stadiums that I've never been to, so that'll be really sick. Anaheim, I'm looking forward to that. Coors Field, looking forward to hitting BP there, see if I can launch some balls 500 feet.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, just the little, and even like places like I think we're going to South Dakota, Sioux Falls.
So
So
cool.
like all over the place. It's a mixture of all of it, and I'm big into travel, so I, I'm getting to see places that I haven't gotten to see, and I think I've been to all 50 states except for North Dakota, and I think we're going there as well. So I'll knock that off my list.
Nice.
So yeah,
That's so cool. I
yeah.
guess, is there any like dream stadium, not necessarily that's on the schedule, that you haven't been to that at some point you would love to go to with the Banana Ball?
It's an interesting question. I haven't thought about that entirely, but off the top of my head, what I think would be really cool is if we made it over to like the Tokyo Dome or something.
That'd be sick.
Like I think if we take this thing fully overseas, which I'm sure they're planning on eventually, but I think it'd be cool to expand overseas, and then the Tokyo Dome. I think that'd be a sick spot to be.
yeah,
Yeah,
that would be amazing. I'm sure that that they're gonna go big and have some of that international have some international games here in the future. So yeah, really excited
sure.
for that.
But yeah, so can you tell us a little bit about your background in baseball before you came to Banana
Yeah,
Ball?
yeah. So I played college baseball at Morehead State, um, which is in Kentucky, Division I, mid major. Got drafted my junior year to the Los Angeles Dodgers, and then got traded in 2019 for a pitcher, Adam Kolarek, big leaguer.
Nice.
Then I ended up being with the Rays from 2019 till spring training 2024. Um, each winter, I played winter ball. I did 2 winters in Australia, 2 in Venezuela. I did parts of a winter in Mexico, parts of a summer in Mexico. Um, yeah, I've really just taken advantage of this baseball life because I think there's so much to offer. Like, when else are you going to get paid to go overseas and be in another country? So I was like, I'm taking full advantage of that. A lot of my friends and stuff, they'd be like, "Oh, we just played 140 games here. Like, I'm ready to relax." And I'm like, "Brother, I'll relax when I'm 60 years old. Like, I'm young. I ain't relaxing. I'm going."
Oh,
That
So
is awesome.
yeah, I
I
played
think
all over with all different types of people, all different backgrounds, all different leagues. So I think that brings a lot to the table for me and the team. Is I know how to play with people from all over the world, all different backgrounds, all different skill types, all different leagues. Yeah,
Love that. That's so cool.
That's awesome. So yeah, so your baseball journey took you all over the place. What would you say the biggest difference that you've seen between playing in affiliate organizations and other leagues compared to Banana Ball now?
Yeah. So I don't know if y'all can get to a game over in like the Dominican Republic or Mexico or Venezuela. The energy is unmatched.
That is
It's
awesome.
it's a very different experience overseas. It's like everybody's locked into the game, whereas like here people are a little afraid to cheer and get excited in affiliate baseball. It's like over there, you score a run, the whole team's coming out on the field. They're playing drums in the stands. People are throwing drinks in the air. Um, every game feels like a playoff game overseas, and like that's what really drew me in and got me to keep going back. Um, and I think that Banana Ball kind of brings some of that out, which is cool. Like getting people really engaged and locked in and involved. So I think it makes it way more fun, way more enjoyable. Like you said, it brings out the best in us.
That's awesome. That's so cool.
I think I need to go to a game in the Dominican Republic.
100%. You won't regret it. You won't. You'll want to go back every year and watch some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. Well, we really appreciate your time jumping on today and talking to us and letting the fans hear a little bit more about your journey. Do you have any closing thoughts for them about the draft? Anything you want the fans to know?
No, I mean, I'm just really excited to see where this goes. I mean, it's all so fresh for me. I couldn't be more excited for my family and everyone that's going to get to be involved. I'm excited for all the new guys that are into this. Excited to see where this goes. I mean, everything's so new. Like the draft was a crazy thing, and all the teams are split up. There's going to be guys on new teams that have been on the same team for the past couple of years. They're adding 2 more teams. It's just all so fresh. But I think it's all so good, and I'm super happy that I get to be a part of it, and super happy to meet you guys. And I'm excited to keep talking to y'all. So we're gonna do this some more.
Yeah, for
Yes.
sure. We'd love to have you on for a full interview sometime where we get your whole story and everything, introduce you more to the fans. Where can they follow you so they can see more of your Banana Ball career?
Yeah. So I'm on Instagram at hh_12_. I think I have a TikTok, but I'm gonna start getting that going now. I think it's the same tag. And then I'm on Twitter too at the Hulsizer.
Nice.
But yeah, gonna start getting that stuff popping and really, showing the world what I got.
Awesome.
Awesome. Well, we're looking forward to it. Congratulations again. So excited to see you next year with the Clowns. It sounds like you got some good stuff ready for the fans.
Oh, I'm excited. It's gonna be a great year. Let's go.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Go Clowns.
Go Clowns.
Go Clowns, baby.
Have a good
Awesome.
one.
Thank
I'll
you
talk
so
to you guys
much.
soon.
We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks. Bye.
Awesome. Well, that was absolutely incredible. Thank you so much, Niko, for coming. And thank you guys so much. The chat was going. If you have any questions, let us know in there. We're going to be breaking down the other picks, but holy moly, that was so cool.
Yeah, it's really cool to see. I mean, he's been all over the place, and now to end up here in Banana Ball. One thought that I had when he was talking about the vibe of the international games that he's played in, and how he said like every game feels like a playoff game. The one thing that I was thinking about is like the 9th inning of every single Banana Ball game that I've been to has felt like a playoff game.
100%.
And so like I wouldn't say that like Banana Ball games are super fun, but I wouldn't say like the first 8 innings feel the way that he was describing necessarily, where it's like but like it's pretty close. And then the 9th inning is just like, I just love that about Banana Ball. Everyone stands up for the entire 9th inning.
So cool.
Every point, every run counts as a point at that point. Anything could happen in the 9th inning, and so I think he's going to fit right in to Banana Ball with that experience there. He has that. Really excited for him. Great guy.
And his energy. I mean, like the fact that he plays a whole 160 game season, then goes and plays more baseball. Like
Yeah.
I think that of anybody, he's gonna be able to then handle the craziness of 9 innings with dancing and all of this stuff. But yeah, okay, wait, oh no, our stream got crashed by the party crasher. Hey, CV Suave. For a second, I was like, oh no, it went down.
Yeah,
What's
I know.
going
That's
on?
what I was like. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Welcome, party crasher in the chat. That's awesome.
And for anyone who is just joining right now, we had Drake Fontenot on earlier. We had Niko Hulsizer. So excited to have talked to them. So you can go back and watch those when the live stream ends. And right now, we're going to break down all of the other picks. We're currently on round 8. We have someone who might jump on. It's still not a for sure if another pick is jumping on later. But for here, if you guys have any questions, leave them in the chat. We'll try to get to them as we can. But for now, let's jump into round 8.
All right, I actually have it up. That's awesome.
Hey, there we go.
All right.
Did we? I think we might have. Oh no, we're waiting on the Clowns, and then Niko jumped on, so that was
That's
perfect.
right.
Perfect timing.
That was perfect timing. All right, back to what everyone came for, the spreadsheet. All right, Kyle Perry.
Was he on the Coconuts?
Coconuts, left-handed pitcher. Where's Perry?
And he came from the Savannah Bananas. So again, Coconuts. They got Austin Krasminski, Andy Archer, and Kyle Perry, all legacy pitchers from the Bananas, and that's really cool to see them pulling that off and all this. Sorry, CV Suave, y'all are killing it. Thank you so much. It was great to meet you there at the Tour Championship, and excited to see what you got coming forward with the Party Animals.
Yeah. Thanks for joining. Yeah, I love kind of how the Coconuts team is starting to round out. I mean, all these teams, the parity is going to be really good this season. It's going to be some great matchups here. The teams are really, been great. But anyway, what I was thinking with the Coconuts is just, it feels like they have the perfect amount of legacy guys that are going to come in and be leaders, and the perfect amount of new guys, visitors, that already have the relationships because they played on the visitors, and then you're bringing in guys that were on the Bananas now that have that connection, and I think it's really gonna work, and because what I've been thinking a lot about with the Party Animals, it's like you're just bringing everyone back. They have a huge advantage because of the chemistry that they already have. They've already won a championship together, and they're pretty much bringing everyone back. So they already have that huge advantage. But with the Coconuts, you kind of have that too. And so it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah, it's super exciting picks so far. So who else did the Coconuts get in round 7 or round 8?
Our guy, friend of the podcast, Brett Carson.
Oh, I was looking at the wrong one. There we go. Brett Carson. Is he listed as utility?
Utility,
okay.
Yeah. So
throw him down
he
there.
was a pitcher, outfielder, and first baseman this year. So yeah, he's a utility player. If you guys haven't seen our interview with him, you'll want to check it out on our channel. He is awesome. His story to get into Banana Ball
cool.
is really an awesome story. I really love getting into those stories with these guys of their crazy experiences with indie ball and affiliate ball and all this stuff. It's really a crazy life to like get traded, and that's not something I have to worry about at my job, right? Like no one, my boss isn't gonna be like, hey, Sammy, sorry, we traded you to this other company across the country. You need to pack your family up and move. Like that's not something I have to deal with. And so it's crazy to hear some of those stories. And Brett Carson had some of those in that interview. So you'll want to check that interview out to get to know him, especially if you're a Coconuts fan now and you want to get to know some of the team.
Really quick before we go to the other one, I have a comment here. Sebastian, do you guys have other interviews with players in the future? Yes. So in the off season, during the season we do game breakdowns every single week. In the off season, we're focused mostly on interviews. That's going to be most of the live streams for the next few weeks. We've got a couple players who we've talked about who may be in the lineup coming soon, and we are close to locking in someone for next Wednesday. So there's a lot of interviews with these players, and I love that the draft just happened because now we have an influx of players to help introduce to you guys. But yeah, if there's anyone in particular, let us know. We're happy to reach out to them and see if we can pull something off. But
Yeah, that's something we're kind of dedicated on this, dedicated to this offseason. It's like, let's try to get all these new guys that we don't know too much about. Let's try to get as many of them on as possible so that you guys can learn about them before the season, right? So you get to hear their story. You kind of have an idea of who they are, what they plan on doing this season, and we can be excited to watch them play. So that's what we're gonna try to do. Hopefully, we get as many players on as possible. But we also it's been a whirlwind. Like the tour championship happened, and then all this draft stuff happened, and I thought we were gonna get a little bit of a break, but we haven't, and everything's just going crazy. And so we still want to get guys on that won the championship. Like we want to get
100%.
Party Animals guys on, and it's been so much fun. We have so much planned for you guys. So definitely subscribe and all that stuff. So
yeah, so we do quick tease. We do have one party animal locked on the calendar in the next couple weeks. We're not going to say who it is, but we've got a reigning champion who's going to come on. And I saw someone in the chat ask about Ashby Vining. We had a full interview with him earlier in the season after he played for the Visitors. We have talked to him and are hoping to get him on to get his thoughts on the draft here soon. So hopefully we'll get him on in a little bit.
yeah.
Julia, interview Jackie Bradley Jr. That would be an absolute dream come true.
We have reached out.
We'll see.
No, he has not even seen it yet. You can see if anyone's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most likely that one's not going to happen, but if it does, we will let you guys know so you guys can see that.
We got
interview.
a super chat here.
Oh my goodness! Thank you guys.
Thank you, Chininator, for your super chat.
Thank you.
He says, "Get Coach Rack on, please." Let's see if I can throw it up.
There's
so many chats. Thank you guys. It's really awesome. So
Really
yeah,
appreciate
get Coach Rack on, please. We're trying. He is so busy. So yeah, it's we're gonna get some guys on that you're excited about. So don't worry. We've got stuff planned.
Thank you, Chininator. Really appreciate that. Okay, so round 8. Let's go to the Clowns.
Are we only in round 8? We just started round 8. Okay, yeah. Clowns, right-handed pitcher, Vinny Santarciero. Oh man.
Oh my
Vinny
goodness.
S.
I know. I might have butchered the spelling there, but we're gonna go for it so we can keep this moving.
Yeah, right-handed pitcher, and then we've got a catcher, Chris Burgess.
Okay. So then they locked in their catchers here. BUR.
Chris Burgess, not to be confused with BYU basketball assistant coach, also named Chris Burgess.
Is he the one that's getting in here, Sammy?
Maybe.
Okay, let's go to the Texas Tailgaters. They're filling up fast. Who do we got?
All right, we've got right-handed pitcher Jonathan Hughes.
This is awesome. Again, I don't know a lot of these new pitchers that are coming, but I'm really, really hopeful for the Texas Tailgaters to get a good bullpen there because they kept all their guys that were really good bats. So if they can get a good bullpen, I think the Texas Tailgaters will be a force to be reckoned with.
For sure. All
Oh,
right.
I love this pick.
Blake Morgan left. Oh, sorry. I
Come on,
skipped
Sammy.
the bananas. Connor Harris, right-handed pitcher.
Okay, I saw some comments on this in the chat, and I do want to call this out. Connor Harris, that I've seen his stuff from before he started with the Visitors, watching all the things, super excited for him. When I heard he was on the Bananas, I was super excited. Then I saw his post, and you guys, you have to go to his Instagram and check out Connor Harris's post. When he finds out, he's just bawling. He's so excited, filled with so much emotion, and talking about how he has been a Yankees fan his whole life, and now knowing that he's going to be able to play for the Savannah Bananas in Yankee Stadium, like absolute dream come true for him. So like that made me even more excited for Connor, and congratulations, Connor. We're so excited for you.
Yeah, I think that's something that we kind of overlook is that we're excited about how the teams are rounding out and everything. Obviously, we're going to analyze that and talk about the teams and what our projections are and everything. But also, the human element of this is that these guys are about to live their childhood dreams of playing in sold-out major league ballparks.
So cool.
It's amazing. I'm just so excited for that.
Yeah, I cannot wait to see that, and congratulations again. And to all the players who are new, apologies that we are not focusing as much. We're so excited to see
And
where you
also
guys come.
apologies for mispronouncing your names.
Okay, who do we got for the firefighters?
Blake Morgan, left-handed pitcher.
Okay, there we go. Blake Morgan. That was not how you spell Morgan.
All right.
Awesome. And then for the party animals, which party animals player did they pick this time?
Michael Ballard, infielder.
Okay, was this one?
So,
This
yeah.
was one of their other.
A
other
non-party animal.
Wow. Infield, eighth.
They had some openings, so.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go back to the Clowns in round 9. Man, we're moving through this. This is awesome.
All right. Brett Maddock, right-handed pitcher. It's hard to say words when you've been talking nonstop for 2 days, it feels like.
And who else did they get at the bottom?
Kirkland Banks, infielder. So yeah, we're not too familiar with these guys, but we're really looking forward to getting to know them. Hopefully, having them on the podcast and all that stuff. So
yeah, and that's awesome though that like they've now rounded out their slots, and now we're gonna see what their utility players. Who are these extra picks that they brought on these backup positions, and seeing which ones they focused on. Okay, Coconuts.
Keegan James, right-handed pitcher.
Awesome.
And Joe Filomeno, left-handed pitcher.
Man, there are just so many awesome last names that are incredibly hard to spell.
You know, the Biko, Josh, Drake, Zach, and Brett are going to have their work cut out for them learning these names and everything. They do a great job. They'll be fine. But, yeah.
I will say, I do want to comment on that really quick. Seeing the group that was there, those 5 announcers, that was one of the coolest parts of the draft. Like, it felt so official, and I saw so many comments about it, but like their chemistry was top notch. Like the back and forth that they had, the amazing analysis that they provided, like just kudos to that entire team. They crushed it, knocked it out of the park.
Seriously, it was so professional, and just it felt like you're just watching regular draft coverage, but then with a random banana ball spin to everything.
Yeah.
And so it's just, it was awesome to see that. And then to see their reaction when, because they didn't know that JBJ was going to be drafted. They didn't know he wasn't in the pool. No one knew, and so seeing that reaction was awesome too.
Yeah, I got a comment here I got to bring up. Russ says, fun to think about which of these unheard ofs we'll be talking about this time next year. Yeah, it's going to be awesome because just thinking about it, Andy Cosgrove, brand new last year, and absolutely knocked it out of the park for that team. Most of the tailgaters, brand new, and now we know them so well. So, It's going to be so exciting to see all of this.
I mean, I remember the day that, Brett Carson came onto the scene at that game against the Party Animals that went to showdowns where he, drug them in as the closing pitcher into the showdowns. And then we had him on the podcast that week. We're like, we got to talk to this guy. This guy's legit. And so I think we're going to have some experiences like that this season where, we've heard their names because of the draft. And we're going to, some guys are going to just jump out. And hopefully we'll have talked to a lot of them and told their story to you guys so that it's not so much of a surprise and it's like, oh, I know that guy from the podcast.
Yeah.
Hopefully we have some of that.
Also, quick call out for next week. In addition to potentially having a player on, we did, when we recently passed 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, we have a signed ball with 10 Savannah Bananas players and coaches that signed it for us back in Anaheim. We are going to be giving that away randomly to one of you on the live stream next Wednesday. So be sure to join for that, as well as just an overall celebration stream, because you guys are amazing and have supported us all along the way. And then we are also hopefully going to have a player as well to hear his story. So next week's going to be a super exciting one.
Yeah, so if you like what we're doing today, make sure to join in next week and each week going forward. Awesome.
Okay, who did the Texas Tailgaters get in round 9?
All right, Joe Sperone.
Okay, returning pitcher to the Texas Tailgaters. Joe Sperone, 9th round. Okay, that rounds out all of their pitchers. Their pitching staff is locked in. Thank you for zooming in on that.
It's gonna be a hard one.
Alan
All right.
Satoff.
Yeah. Okay. Bananas. Right-handed pitcher. Alan Satoff.
Satov, something.
Oh man.
Man, imagine
This
if
job's
he's
hard.
in the live stream right now.
I know.
Apologies.
I'm sorry. I just want to apologize to everyone.
Who did that?
My last name gets mispronounced sometimes. Collier.
Collier.
It's not. It's Collier. I'm an American. I'm not French.
That is awesome. I've never heard that before.
It's not. It's actually not often that. It's usually that people say Collier, which maybe it's Collier, but maybe that's actually more accurate because Collier means coal miner, so Collier kind of makes sense. But it's Collier, and that's just how it is. Sorry, no one came to hear about my last name.
They definitely did. Carmen says, also, I noticed Bryce, who's one of the coaches for the Visitors, is now coach for the Bananas to replace Fox. Yeah, so Coach Fox went to the Clowns. That is completely probable. He was there for the whole draft. So, yeah, maybe he is an assistant coach. And that's something that's super cool right now is because then maybe he could then be, depending on how things go, he could be a head coach going forward. Like, that's the nice thing with all of these assistant coaches they have. They can kind of pull someone off, bring them to the Visitors, try that out like Coach Croc, and then, okay, now let's throw you over to be a main coach. So super cool to see. But, yeah, excited for him and the ability to be in the Savannah Bananas coaching structure there.
All right, firefighters utility player Darian McDowell.
Okay, so
Excited for that as well.
Darian McDowell. Yeah, this is just so fun of like we have no idea who these guys are, and then next year we're gonna be like, wow, he won MVP or whatever.
All right, and then Dylan Porter, right-handed pitcher, coming back to the Party Animals after a brief hiatus.
Yeah, I'm excited to learn more about that story and where he went and making the comeback. That's super exciting.
All right, that rounds out.
Hey, we
round
gotta
9.
go.
Here we go. We keep going. 2 more rounds.
Okay, I gotta call this out really quick. This is awesome. Adam, my first episode, they talked about how the season was tied at like 8-8 or something like that. Throwback to when it was just Savannah Bananas and Party Animals at the beginning of the season.
Wow, this is how you know he's been here a while before the cork board. The board that has come and gone and
we'll
maybe
hopefully
we'll
be back
bring
soon.
it back. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no standings right now, so
Yeah, there.
we also need to get a bigger cork
We
board.
should just have a big Party Animals Champions banner like the Party Animals draft room had yesterday. I need to buy one of those. Are they selling those?
I don't know. That would be sick.
I need to get one for my room. I'm sure my wife would love for me to hang that in our room.
I think that she would be absolutely thrilled. If it's available, that's a must buy.
Yeah.
Okay, round 10. What's the Clowns?
Coconuts.
Okay, coconuts.
Oh wait. I guess if you're
We can
going
do either way.
Okay, let's do Clowns. Dale Francis Jr., utility player.
Awesome.
We got. Okay, sorry, getting distracted here, but Pats fan. Where is it? There it is. Pats fan says. There's so many.
This chat is awesome. Thank you guys.
Yes, and your Little League experiences. Yes, everyone go watch our first ever episode where we were bad at podcasting, but we did talk about our Little League experiences because everyone wants to hear people's Little League experiences. I'll give a little tease. I got punched in the gut in a t-ball game. So if you want to hear that story, go check that out. First ever episode.
And just so everyone knows, we did not start off doing these live streams. So now all of the main episodes are live streams. Some of the previous episodes were in the main video feed, and now we're doing the live streams and then clipping out some of the best parts and then also making separate videos that are on there. So it's back in the beginning, but hopefully you guys can find that because Sammy's got some good stories there. Okay, Dale Francis Jr. and then who else do we got for the Clowns?
Man, I feel bad because I'm gonna mispronounce this, but we actually know him. Brian Dancero or Dancero. We're we met him at the tour championship. We got to watch the game with him for a while and just chat. Great guy. Hope to have him on the podcast here soon. I was super excited when I saw that he got drafted and he's going to the Clowns.
Yeah, that is awesome. Okay, I gotta call this one out. We're gonna get to this in a second. Tony Basala says Jacob Basala, aka Big Red, round 10 for the Bananas. So I'm assuming family member. Congratulations, that is so exciting. We'll talk about that more in a second, but this is absolutely incredible.
Congrats. Really happy for him and for you guys. We're really excited to see him as a Banana and get to know him. So awesome. All right.
Okay, who do we got? For the coconuts.
Gideon Antle. A-N-T-L-E. Antle.
Okay, and he's an outfielder.
And Grady Morgan, outfielder for the Coconuts.
Okay, picking up two outfielders there. Morgan, outfield. Okay, we are in the middle. Whoa, not round 20. We are not doing 20 rounds. That would be brutal.
All right, so now the Bananas. Jacob Bazala. Really excited for him as we have some family watching. We can't wait to hear more about him, and he's a right-handed pitcher. So
awesome. It's super exciting to see him there. And yeah, we've got the full pitching spot lined up. I guess I probably should have Danny Hosley down in the utility spot. But we'll put Jacob down there for now.
Yeah.
And then tailgaters.
Firefighters.
We skipped the tailgaters.
We skipped the tailgaters. Man, I'm getting tired again, guys. Jose Gonzalez for the tailgaters. He's a utility player.
Okay, and
firefighters.
Then firefighters.
Tyner Hughes, utility player. And then
was he a visitor as well? I think maybe.
I don't know. Everything's starting to.
It's starting to blur together a little bit.
My brain is starting to shut off here.
This is an extremely exciting one.
All right, Party Animals bringing catcher Bronson Bauholm. Really excited about that. The Party Animals are just bringing everyone back. They're looking great. A championship team that doesn't change much. That's a scary thing for everyone else to see. So yeah, super excited for Bronny. We got to have an interview with him in person, a little interview on the field when the Party Animals played the Tailgaters in Frisco, Texas. That was fun. He's a great guy. Really fun to talk to.
Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, dude, that Party Animals lineup is scary. Okay, round 11.
Here we go.
Final round.
Clowns. Kobe Robinson, right-handed pitcher. And then someone that people have been mentioning in the chat quite a bit, actually, and we have met him in person, Clark Gilmore, right-handed pitcher.
That
trick pitcher.
That must have been so stressful. I saw someone say that in the chat earlier, like, for Clark, the final pick.
Yeah,
he was the last pick. And he now is going to be on the Clowns. I'm so excited for him. It's great to meet him in person. And yeah, he's got some trick pitches, including a behind the back pitch, and then does the normal windup to throw people off. I'm especially excited. Like, I would love to see him pull that off against like some of like the major league guys that are like playing the game and are not expected. Because once you've played against Clark enough, you're going to know that he can pull off that pitch. But if he can do it against someone who has no idea what's coming,
like a guest batter,
that would be incredible.
Yeah, and it's perfect for the Clowns. I think everyone was kind of guessing that he'd go to the Clowns, and then it finally happened. So, all right, Coconuts. We got J.D. Urso, infielder.
Okay.
And then the surprise, Dalton Malden, infielder, and singer and songwriter, Dalton Malden. So he's going to be a coconut, no longer a banana. So
that is crazy.
People were a little shocked about that. We talked about it a little bit earlier, but it seemed he had the opportunity to go on the chat. Oh, look who entered the chat. We got to give a shout out
there we go.
to our buddy Cooper Carter in the chat. Just want to give a shout out to him. He's been helping us with some edits recently, and he's a great guy. Welcome. Thanks for joining the live stream, man. We really appreciate all that you've been doing for us.
Yeah, Cooper's doing some awesome stuff. He even before he started doing some clips for us, he was able to interview Joe Lytle for the Firefighters and do some pretty cool stuff. So excited to see more of what Cooper's got going forward, and he's also currently a baseball player, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, hopefully maybe we'll see him as a banana ball player one day.
That'd be awesome.
That's the goal.
Okay, Texas Tailgaters final pick, round 11.
Jimmy Lewis.
Okay, so Jimmy Lewis returning to the Texas Tailgaters. Yeah, again, for him as well, that must have been stressful, and I know that some people were stressed as well, like Clark Gilmore, and like, okay, he squeaked in on the last one. But yeah, that's super exciting, Jimmy, for you, and to see where you're going to go next year with the Tailgaters.
All right, Bananas. Catcher Bryce Grisoffi. Hopefully I pronounced that right, but who knows?
Well, the other thing with that is that I think if I saw right from his Instagram, he goes by Coach Grizz, so that'll be a little bit easier to remember. But then also now we got Coach Rack and Coach Grizz on the same team.
Yeah. All right.
Firefighters.
Bringing back Mason Maxwell, utility player.
Okay, this was one that I was really stressed about. Because so just so everyone knows, I was a little worried when I wasn't seeing him on the list this far, because his final at bat of the season, I kind of caught a foul ball to get him out, and so I was like, if I was the guy that caused his career to end, I would feel so bad. So I was really excited to see that he's coming back for the Firefighters.
Yeah.
So congratulations, Mason Maxwell.
Yeah. I was a little stressed about it too. He's also just an awesome player.
Yeah.
And so I was shocked that it took him that long to get drafted too, because the talent is awesome, and he had a really good season. One of the the best moment, I think everyone kind of remembers this one. We were at that game in Anaheim where he does this "I'll make a man out of you" walk up, and then he hits a bomb.
That was awesome.
It's a home run in the Angel Stadium. So super glad that Mason Maxwell is coming back on, and we have talked to him. Hopefully, we're hoping that he can come on the podcast as well. So we've talking to a lot of guys. Just make sure to subscribe to it so you don't miss any of that stuff. So.
Okay, so we just got the Firefighters. Now we're on the final pick this wasn't the final pick of the draft, but the final one to enter here. Party Animals, who we got?
Ryan Rodriguez, bringing him back.
I know there were a lot of people that were stressed out for that one as well. And that completely rounds out the Party Animals. There are no Party Animals players that were left behind. They're all coming back, and only 2 of them are going to a different team, and those were backup players. So again, Armando Becerra, I think we talk about that right now. Armando Becerra and Sal Jacobo.
Great players, but they were backup players, and sorry, say it. Sorry.
No, you're good. You're the Party Animals guy.
Yeah, so
I was trying to steal your thunder.
Armando Becerra and Sal Jacobo, and so Sal Jacobo ended up playing a lot because of Chase Acuff's injury, but Armando Becerra was behind Jake Skoll, and so
it's so rough.
It's kind of a hard situation to be in, playing directly behind the league MVP, and so these guys now have the opportunity to be starters and leaders for the teams that they're going to now, and so so everyone else, every Party Animal is drafted. Coach Vava he loves his team. They won a championship together, and it's only fair that all of those players get an opportunity to play again because of what they're able to accomplish. And so we're gonna see the same Party Animals team.
It's awesome.
It's awesome that he did it. And once he started, once he drafted Bloomer, it's like, okay, I think I know what's gonna happen here. But I still wasn't expecting them to keep the core together this much, and also for the other teams to not really pick up some of these guys as it went along. Like, obviously, Jacobo and Becerra were drafted by other teams, but no one else wanted to pick up Bronny. Like, it's crazy that this just kind of ended up happening. So, cool.
Yeah,
stuff.
so it's super exciting. And again, I think we talked about this, but I think the Party Animals players are going to give a lot of extra energy because of the faith and trust that Coach Vava put in them to draft them over the new guys. And so I think it'll be really cool to see how that's going to go with everything there. So that's the Party Animals. Any other thoughts on the Party Animals full lineup?
I'm just thinking, like, we saw that the other teams really prioritized the new guys because they saw the talent, the influx of talent that was coming in. Like, the talent this season is going to be better than Banana Ball has ever seen, like baseball wise. Really hoping that still translates to classic Banana Ball stuff with trick plays and everything. I'm sure it will, but just like pure baseball standpoint, this is the most talent that the league has ever had.
100%.
And so for Coach Vava to be like, you know what, guys, I don't care about any of that. Like, obviously there's 2 new guys that he drafted, but like it's like, I don't care. You guys are my team, and we won a championship, and just the amount of faith and trust that he put into his guys is going to pay dividends down the line this season.
So I will say I saw a couple in here. I want to talk about this comment. So we don't have any information either way. This is us talking and us speculating. Carmen says, I really feel like the coaches all knew who they were taking behind the scenes. My take on this is the information that we've heard is that they did a bunch of mock drafts. So they did these mock drafts. Bryson Bloomer in a reel said that he heard that Coach Kroc might have selected him early as in the first round in a mock draft. So we know that the coaches did some sort of mock draft. So yes, they had some idea of who people were going for. I don't think that they like orchestrated things and said, I'm not going to take this person, this and that, especially because we saw one that I was really in particular want to bring up was the Texas Tailgaters. They were talking, Brett Loftus was saying on the live stream that he was expecting them to take a person, and then the pick before them, another team took that player, and then you saw the Tailgaters slow down, and they weren't rushing out with their pick, and they were sitting there deliberating for like the full length of time, and it was really showing how they were probably going to pick that guy next, and now they had to rethink it. So again, who knows? We don't have any information on that, but my speculation is they put in the effort to make sure that it wasn't rigged, that it was fully competitive, because they want to have this competitive league. All of the players, they're on 1-year contracts. Like all of these things where these players, they really have to earn their keep. And so I think that's my take on it. I don't know if you have any other thoughts, Sam.
No, I think that's about all. I think we should transition to this though. Russ, great question. Did you already talk about guys who didn't get picked, who's not coming back? We have not talked about that yet. That was going to be our next segment here. Just kind of some surprising stuff. And yeah, well, what Mary says here, Facebook is going off about the draft. A lot of fans are not happy about their favorites not making the cut over the new players coming in.
I think we should talk about this one.
Yeah. So it's hard to see some of your favorite players not come back. Dustin Baber, when we interviewed him, he kind of laid it out that he's like, everyone's on a 1-year contract. If you can't, perform, like it's just what happens, right? Like sports is really competitive, and these guys know that too. They've been, a lot of these guys, they play indie ball, they play affiliate ball, and while banana ball is different in a lot of ways, it still is the same in the sense that like your job's not guaranteed, and so you've got to perform and you've got to add to winning, but also you've got to perform with the fans. You've got to go all out with all the banana ball stuff. I don't know where else I'm going with that, but just like it's gonna happen. That's just part of sports. And as a sports fan of other teams, you see your favorite players leave in those situations too, and so that's just banana ball's been different for a while, but now with it becoming a league, that's just kind of what's going to happen.
Yeah, and I think it's one of those things where it's also it's all of those things that Sammy mentioned. It's their performance, how well they did, and then there's also some aspect of just the team needed a pitcher, the team needed a catcher, and this player was an outfielder. Like it just comes down to that sometimes, where it's like there might have been a fantastic outfielder left in the draft, but they needed a different player. So there's so many pieces that go into it, and I know it's really hard as fans, and I really I'm bummed for the guys that didn't come back, and I really hope for the best for them, and maybe they'll come back again. I do want to call out Dustin Baber mentioned he played in the summer series, and then he was told you're not coming back next year. So then he went in the off season, revamped himself, came up with the Leprechaun character, tried out again, and made the team, and now he's a staple. So, like, it's not a goodbye forever.
Yeah.
There's a chance that these guys come back. They could do other things. There's so many other things that could happen. But, yeah, feeling for all the fans right now that are frustrated, feeling for the players that didn't get picked, as well as super, super excited for the level of competition that's coming in here and how much that proves. The fact that some of these great players didn't get picked shows how competitive the league is getting, shows the next level of players that we're getting in here. So it's a hard time, but yeah, we're really excited that we're able to break this all down and be there to talk about this. But
Yeah.
100% agree.
So this is what I was gonna bring up here. Most surprising to me is Castillo not getting drafted.
Yep.
Yeah, super surprising. And to be honest, oh, you're throwing it up. Another spreadsheet that we did we did a live stream week before the draft, 2 weeks before the draft. Yeah, it's got to be 2 weeks before because we did it before the fan fan franchises happened, and so we did a mock of like if we were the coach, who were the 11 that we would keep, and so we were kind of disregarding fan franchises and just like okay, if we could pick 11 guys, who are we going to pick? And so we did this exercise on the live stream. We did it live. It's really hard to pick. Once you get your first like 7 guys pretty easy, and then it went, 8, 9, 10, 11. Those last 4 got really, really hard. And so anyway, back to Castillo. This was really shocking that he wasn't drafted because me and Brandon both had him franchised.
Yeah.
And so for him to go from we thought that he was just going to get franchised and stay on the Tailgaters to not even getting drafted at all, crazy. I was shocked.
Yeah, and I think there's some other players that fall into that, but like that's one of the biggest ones that we thought. And I think there's some funny comments here with the spreadsheets. You hid this from us.
You guys saw this. You guys, we went over this live.
No, nothing was hidden. This is the one that we went over, and it's actually to Biff's point right here in the chat. 2 tabs or 2 sheets. It's actually the same spreadsheet, just in a separate tab, which helps. But yeah, let's go over the rest of the players. This is a rough list. I hope we got everybody here. This was just a quick check through. I know that I probably missed 1 or 2 players here, but this is who we have. For the Party Animals, no one was left behind. They all got drafted back, which shows how incredible the Party Animals team was.
It makes sense that the championship team brought all their players back.
Yeah. And then for the Bananas, there's only one that I saw, and that was Ryan Kellogg. And again, I think he was in the draft. I know that he was only here for part of the season because of some visa issues. So I don't know if some of that plays into it. With some of these, I don't know if there was any of that of like players leaving on their own or if they just weren't drafted. But these are the ones that aren't returning. Tailgaters, this is where it gets hard. Marcos Castillo, we talked about. So sad. We were really hoping to see him in there, as well as a bunch of these other players. And again, thank you. I'm seeing this right here as we're going through this. Peggy, how many players will come back as entertainment? So there's going to be 3 players for each team to round out a 25-man squad, and we'll find some of that out tomorrow. So hopefully some of these players could be in that list. Who knows? Andrew Mann for the Tailgaters, Brian Trepanier, Rodrigo Sanchez, Trey Jones, Colin Stone, Zach Blankenship, and then Jimmy Strings I believe, entered the draft pool, but he was also not on the list of fan franchised, so he was going to be an entertainment player. So like I could see him coming back as an entertainment. But yeah, a lot of tailgaters that did not get picked.
Yeah, that is true, but that's probably that's just what's gonna happen here. The tailgaters, they didn't make the championship game. They didn't have didn't correct. They didn't have a winning record, right? Yeah. So
No,
they didn't have a winning record. That's just what's gonna happen there, and so they've got to make those hard decisions, and it's hard, and we feel for the guys because it's not going to feel good, and we're thankful for all the effort that they put in this season and for all the fun moments and everything, but ultimately, it's these teams are trying to win. They're trying to put on the best show possible, and so that's just yeah.
And then the firefighters, what I saw was Isaac Para, Marshall Schill, Nolan Daniel, it is Neil Lang, and Stephen Cullen are the ones for the firefighters. And this was one where, again, to Sammy's point, this is one of the things that's kind of interesting is you look at the teams that had the best records, that had the long-term players, the players that have been here for like 3 or more years. The Bananas and Party Animals, a lot of them got drafted. A lot of these players, this was their first year, and so unfortunately they were not called back. Shows the raising of the league going forward, and hopefully some of these guys will take this off season, train really hard, come with a character, whatever the case may be, and they can come back. But in talking about this, we've seen a lot in the chat with some other names. Now let's go over the entertainment players. These were the players that were not listed on the fan franchise voting. So that's how we got this list of the entertainers. We don't know if all of these players are coming back. We don't know if they'll be on the same team, but here's the list. For the Party Animals, Blake Benson, who was a pitcher, Jake Lialios, who was a pitcher, and Mark Smith, who was their designated runner. So presumably, especially as the championship team, I would not be shocked if their team is untouched.
Yeah, it's
and if those three go back. But we will find out some of them tomorrow.
Yeah, especially Jake Lialios. He does a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Right now. So that would be shocking if they put him anywhere else. And designated runners were designated as entertainment players.
Yep.
So
and then Blake Benson did join the draft as well, but he was not in the fan franchise. So I think Blake Benson, Dalton Malden, Christian Dearman, and Jimmy Strings, all of them were not in the fan franchise voting, but then they joined the draft. So presumably they're putting their vote out there to see if they can join a team like Dalton Malden did. And then if they don't, they'll hopefully fall back into that entertainment pool. So let's go over the other players. On the Bananas, Alex Ziggy Ziegler, Dakota Stilts Albritton, and Malachi Mitchell. So we know that Malachi Mitchell, Flash, is already going to the Clowns.
Yeah.
So there is now an opening on the Bananas for an entertainer I would presume that Stilts is most likely going to stay.
Yeah, they're not.
And Ziggy will most likely stay as well.
Yeah, so that's a good point. Because Dalton Malden left, there's an opening there. Interesting.
And then for the firefighters, Christian Dearman, pitcher, Matt Wolf, pitcher, and South Trimble, who is listed in some ways the designated runner. He's played in the outfield, some of that. So some of these guys might come back. I would bet that Matt Wolf will be back. I could see him possibly moving over to the Clowns. Who knows?
Yeah.
There's some stuff with when he was first playing for the Bananas and they were learning about the Clowns and the Negro League and how excited it was of hey, these guys did what I'm doing, all the tricks on the mound. But he's also an active firefighter, so he could go either way.
Yeah, and then Christian Dearman, he's kind of become a leader, entertainer for the firefighters. Be shocked if he went anywhere else. I'm pretty sure he's coming back to the firefighters.
And then for the Texas Tailgaters, the ones that were not on the franchise list were Nelson Smith, designated runner, which he also played some positions but kind of became the designated runner at the end. Jimmy Strings, pitcher, and Jason Arndt, outfielder, and he's the one that sings the song at the end when they win the game, the line dance. So Jason Arndt, I would be shocked if he does not come back to the Tailgaters.
Yeah.
And then I think Nelson Smith and Jimmy Strings they both joined the draft after not being part of the franchise list. So definitely I could see them coming back, but we'll see. Because here's the other thing: something interesting about the Tailgaters is the Tailgaters band. They had Jason Artsinger, Jimmy Strings, so that's 2 entertainers right there. Then you've got Trey Jones, who didn't make the draft, Rodrigo Sanchez, who didn't make the draft, and then I think another guitar player was like a coach, or just he wasn't part of the actual team. So I don't, unless they bring back 4 people as entertainers, I don't know if they're going to have the full Tailgater band or if they're going to have possibly some other players that join in. Who knows? We'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting, because then you just also to keep in mind is we've got 2 new teams, so there's going to be some entertainers that we probably haven't even seen yet, and so that's going to be interesting. Tomorrow, I think, is when we're going to get that information, and so we're going to learn more about that, see who's going where, what's going to be, what's going to happen next season. So really,
yeah, and there were some really exciting players in the draft pool that I think could come. There was a guitar player. We got another one up here, but before we do, just want to bring this one up. Biff's got a bounce. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you being here, and thanks again for your super chat and all of your support. Have a fun time, and we appreciate you being here for the draft. Okay, so then one of the things that I saw, Big Bo. There was a guy who did a rap, and it went viral on social media. He then joined the draft. He went to a tryout and joined the draft. He was not drafted yesterday or today. I think that he could be an entertainer, and I think that there could be a good chance he might be the one that's going on the Savannah Bananas in that extra place, because he's got that Banana Ball song. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, I could totally see Big Bo being one of the players that is drafted as entertainment. But
yeah, it's going to be interesting. I have some other thoughts on who's going to be brought back entertainment as well, but I'll just leave it at that.
Awesome. Well, does anyone have any questions in the chat? I see a couple here that we'll go over, but if you have any other ones, leave them in the chat. We'd love to talk about them. Adam right here. I think it would be interesting to have a trade system in Banana Ball. We've talked about this a little bit. I would be very intrigued if they bring this aspect. A part of me feels like if you're going to be a competitive league, you need to have some sort of trade system. But Banana Ball does everything different. So who knows? Maybe there's another way that they can put a spin on that.
Yeah.
Because also, is trading fans first? That's the other thing that they have to balance. And it's like, I can see it being in some ways if it makes the league more competitive and makes it like, hey, my team, I'm a Tailgaters fan. I want to make sure my team has the best chance of winning. And so if that happens, but also, I don't want to see Jake Skoll traded to another team. I want him to stay on the Party Animals. So.
But like, also you got to keep in mind that maybe a good portion, I don't know what the percentage would be, but maybe even like half of the diehard fans of Banana Ball simply do not care about the wins and losses.
100%.
So like trading would be bad for those people, right? And so it's really hard to kind of balance that, the fans first, while also being a real league with real stakes and real competition and all of that. It's hard to balance that, but if anyone can do it, it's Jesse Cole, I think. So I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. I don't know if I would like it or not. So yeah.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot in here about Fisher Polydorov. I think Fisher will be brought back as entertainment depending on how they go with the history of the Clowns. I could see him on there. Yeah, I 100% could see Fisher Polydorov in there. I don't believe his name was in the player draft, so he totally could be one of the players there. And they're announcing some tomorrow, so that would be really cool. I hope to see his name there tomorrow.
I like this idea. Trades that are set up by coaches and voted on by fans. I really, really like this idea. Adam, you are a genius. Yeah, so like there's a trade proposal. Coaches talk about it. It's like, all right, I will trade this player for this player, and then it's posted on social media or whatever, and it's like, okay, there's a fan veto. Like the fans have a veto power. And so you could, if enough people, a certain percentage of fans vote no to that trade, then it does not happen. That is so smart. If any of the Banana Ball team is listening right now, Adam just came up with a really, really good idea. So,
So
yeah.
I love that idea. I have one potential thing that might mess it up. What if, like, so you're saying, like, we're going to trade Jake Skoll for DR Meadows, and the trade is like both teams are good. They put it out there and the fans are voting. Do you think that, like, if it's fan voting, like, some fans for the team that doesn't want it to happen could, like, bomb it, like, and make it so that it doesn't happen, even though it's a good trade for the other team? Or, like,
Well, no, it if both of the coaches are proposing it, then in theory both teams want
an even
the
trade?
trade to happen. It's not
fair.
like, yeah, you have situations where trades are absolutely terrible, like when Luka Doncic was traded to the Lakers for Anthony Davis, and then Nico Harrison got fired because of that. Obviously, those things happen, but in a perfect scenario, a trade is even, and so I don't think that's really a concern. And if enough people just vote no, then it's just done. I think
Yeah.
it has to be a certain percentage. Like, fans need to. It can't just be a simple
50-50.
majority.
I like that. Yep.
If 70 or yeah 60%. What
Yep.
Shannon just said.
Yep.
60% of fans veto.
That
vote
helps
no,
me a lot.
Then it's a veto. So I think that's. I really like this idea.
Okay, because then it allows trades to happen, but then it allows the fans. So if it's a 50-50 pick, I don't know if I'm on board. But having like 60 or 75%, some level of, like, you've got to have a huge portion, then it's like, okay, I'm sorry, you were having a bad day. That was not a good idea to trade that player. We're gonna veto that. Versus, like,
Yeah.
okay, some people are mad about it, but the vast majority are okay with it. Then
like
it
whatever,
happens.
But yeah.
Okay, Adam. Well, thank you for that. That could be cool to see. I think that, and then again, if the Banana Ball team, if anyone's on here, throw that by Jesse Cole. He'll work his magic, and he'll come up with some spin on it that we haven't thought of that'll, like, clinch it and make it perfect for Banana Ball.
I really like that idea, Adam. Thank you for. You guys are so much smarter than us. You guys should start a podcast. No, don't do it. We don't need the competition. No, just kidding. Competition is good. It'll make us better. But you guys are awesome.
Adam, who had the original idea, says 70% is the fairest to me. Yeah, it's something like that. You got to have a little bit above the majority.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's kind of see where things go. It's really exciting with all of this draft stuff. I know there's a lot of feelings, with confusion, there's still, like, again, with Marcos Castillo, like, there's other players like that, but, like, that's the one for us. It's just like, how did that happen? Like, there's no way. And then again, with players in the draft, there were 160 or 161 players in the draft. The fact that only 88 of them were selected, there's 70 to 80 people right now who were hoping that they would be in it and are now not on there. There's just no way that everyone was going to be able to make it. But that's also, these players got so much further, where there was other people who went to the tryouts and had their hopes up, and then they didn't even make it into the draft.
Yeah.
So there's a lot with all of this, but yeah, we'll see where things go going forward.
Yeah, really, I'm just super excited for next season. I've got some games that I'm really, really, really excited about, and even more so now that we actually have a roster. Yeah, just the future of Banana Ball has never been better. This season, we had the Tour Championship. Well, I guess the selection show happened before the Tour Championship, right? So it's like the selection show, Tour Championship, All-Star Game, draft, all of this stuff happening right now, and I'm just, like, going back and seeing that schedule that was announced at the selection show, and it's just like, wow, this next season is going to be awesome, and really excited to hopefully go to some of those games and bring you some coverage there too. So
yeah, so there's a couple questions in the chat here. Thank you guys for throwing these out there. Christina, do these people not chosen then get a chance to be on the visitors, or is that not a team this year? We don't know at this point. There haven't been any official announcements on that, but the understanding or the guess is that the visitors will come back, and it will be some of the players from this draft, some players that come to a tryout, some players that Barry Aldridge just reaches out to and they come straight to the visitors. Like Drake said, he didn't even go to a tryout. He was just brought straight to the visitors. So it's going to be some hodgepodge, and it also could be Marcos Castillo or some of these guys that left, like Dustin Baber. You get another chance, and so it'd be interesting to see where all that goes. I did see someone. Let me see if I can find the comment. Melissa, the one player I'm kind of upset about is Eric Jones Jr. How could the Savannah Bananas let him go? So this is one where I want to wait until we see how good Austin Drury is as a pitcher for the Savannah Bananas. Austin Drury was the one that the Savannah Bananas picked as their first pick, and immediately after that, the Firefighters got Eric Jones Jr. So to me, it all rests on Austin. If he's fantastic, then it's like, hey, there wasn't really, like, that was a great pick by them, and we'll see where it goes. But also, yeah, I think that was so genius of the Firefighters to jump on and take Eric Jones Jr. right away. But yeah, it's a sad thing to see, but also I'm excited for what he can bring to the Firefighters. I think he'll really raise that team up a lot with his leadership and his legacy that he brings there. So
definitely. All right, is there any more questions here? Thank you guys. The chat has been just unbelievable today.
It's awesome. Steve, hopefully there can be more than one visitors team now that the league is expanding.
Visiting team and home team.
Yeah, that's an interesting idea. I think for me it's like, I want to see more of these guys play. That was my one thing with the draft of like, I kind of wanted to see some of these guys play before we got the draft. But yeah, it's one of those things where there's no way you're going to get 160 guys to come and play in a league when they've got these other conflicting things of they're playing baseball over here and they're doing this and that. So, but yeah, I think it would be super cool to see. I think they'll probably only have one, but I don't know. Maybe Sammy, what do you think? Do you think they have a visiting team at the beginning of the season and then they just kind of like cycle them through and it's a couple visiting teams throughout the year and
maybe
they get to play 5 games each?
It's definitely a possibility. I have no idea.
That could be cool. Korea Soul, it would be wild to have some surprise wild card players who didn't get chosen sort of get a second chance. Almost like the fan franchise. That could be cool. You get like the coaches pick their 21 players and the last player, the 22nd player is picked by the fans. That would be crazy.
Yeah, that would be hard to really get those votes in, but
I think for now, I think we'll probably end for tonight. We appreciate all of your guys' support. Thank you so much for the chat. We will be back next Wednesday and every Wednesday in the future for our live streams at 7:30 Eastern time. We will keep you posted on the schedule as we go forward. We're hoping to have another draft pick join us next week, as well as we will be doing the giveaway for the Savannah Bananas signed ball, talking about some future stuff that we're hinting at right here. We'll see what might be coming.
If you guys want them. Thank you guys. This was awesome. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss anything else that we're doing. Follow us on social media, on our Instagram. I think a lot of you have found us on Instagram. Our Twitter that we sometimes use, and my Twitter that I use way too much, if you find me there. So, just, follow us on everything, and thank you guys for all the stuff. We're trying to make, bring these stories, these banana ball stories to you guys so that we know you guys love this stuff. We love it too, and it's been a lot of fun, so thank you all.
Yeah, there's much more coming down the pipeline, but we could not do it without your support. We appreciate everyone who's been on this live stream. An incredible time that we had breaking it all down, and we're excited to get back to it next week.
Yep.
In the meantime,